Welcome to this daily guided meditation practice. This is the Attentive Mind. My name is Nathan, and I'll be guiding you through this meditation practice today. Find yourself a seated position. You want to find a position that is both sturdy and comfortable. You don't want to feel uncomfortable during the practice because then you'll just be distracted by your body. And it's unnecessary to be distracted in that way, so just finding a comfortable position really alleviates that trouble. You also want to find something sturdy, because a sense of stability gives us a sense of groundedness, a sense of being here to stay for this moment's sake. Not in order to get to the next moment and not to do something else, but just to be here for this moment's sake. You can sit in a chair, that achieves the goal. You can also lie down, but just don't fall asleep. Or you can sit in a formal meditation posture. Just find what works for you. We also keep our eyes open during this practice. But if you have learned to practice with your eyes closed, or you feel more comfortable doing it that way, go ahead and do it. There are no hindrances here. But if your eyes are open, leave the screen alone and drop your gaze gently down below you, kind of looking at the floor or the desk or whatever is just below you. We're not staring at a particular spot in the floor and analyzing it, but we're also not zoned out and blurry. We have a gentle gaze directed softly, however clearly, downwards. You're in a comfortable and sturdy position, and your eyes are either closed or open, gaze directed softly yet clearly downwards. You are here, and that is all. This moment, right now. Not tomorrow, not yesterday, not in 5 minutes, not 10 seconds ago. Right here. It's already complete. What you seek is what you already are. There's nothing to achieve, nothing to gain. There's nowhere to go, nothing to do, and no one to become. So just be here. It's impossible to do anything else. Just notice this moment as it is, here and now. And let go of the future and the past. Notice this moment. There's nothing to gain. Now, you may find that your mind keeps thinking. It doesn't really know how to be here. It is not the nature of the contents of thoughts to be here now. They're always contemplating the future and the past. So to really be here now, we must leave our thoughts alone. And instead, bring your thoughts to the sensations of the breath. Notice the gentle rhythm of the rising and falling of breathing. And instead of getting lost in some thought, some worry, some plan, return to the breath. And see if you can just notice the breath without getting distracted. And if you're normal, I'm probably catching you thinking right now. And that's okay. There's no doing this in a way that gives you something. There's no failure. Just return to the breath without a thought of the future. Keep coming back to breathing, rising and falling. Come back. Come back to the breath. Stop planning. Leave it alone. Remember that thoughts don't have to be quiet for us to notice the breath. We notice the breath as thinking happens. Just leave thoughts alone. Let them do what they want to. They don't concern you. Return to the breath. All right, you can look at the screen. Now, I know I regularly say, if you show up to this channel, you hear me say all the time, practice. It's of the utmost importance to practice, to practice, to practice. But then on the other hand, I say, there's nothing to gain from practice. There's nothing to do. There's no one to become. So how can this be reconciled? What does this even mean to practice, but for no reason? And it's a common thing for people to get confused about with the practice of meditation, because on the one hand, it is a practice. It requires, for most of us, for some people it doesn't, but for most of us, it requires us to return to silence, to return to our awareness, our attention. And to deliberately do that, because we're usually living in the place of thinking. And thinking is basically what I'm talking to when I say to practice and make it a thing. Your thoughts are going, oh yeah, well then I should practice. The feeling of being a me. Well, I got to do this. Oh, okay, well yeah, I should practice because I won't get anywhere unless I practice. So I should go sit and make sure I do a schedule and get down there and sit and practice. And that's for thoughts. But when you sit, the one that shows up to practice must be let go of. The one that wants something must disappear. Rather, it's not there in the first place. There's no you. There's no thinker. There's no hearer of sounds, seer of a video. It's an assumption created by thinking. So when we sit and practice, it is essential to understand that there's nothing to gain because there's no you to gain it. There's no separate something that gains, right? If I were to say you should practice for your own well-being, which I do say all the time, then you say, oh, good, I want to be well, which is great. And you sit down, you practice. And then you sit down, you're like, well, I'm waiting for the wellness. Okay, well, I'm trying to let go of thoughts. That's not, yeah, but okay, well, where's the wellness? I don't see it. This isn't working for me. And it's because you're not practicing. You're thinking of the future and you're wanting to get something. And if you're trying to get something, your mind is on the future and you're not practicing. We could almost say that meditation is the most essential thing to not do. It is the one thing we do for no reason at all. Because everything else in our life is for some reason, some telos, some end. But we don't give the time to let go of that game. But letting go of that game means to actually realize and not strive for anything. Not even striving to let go. It sounds paradoxical because I'm trying to put it in words. But when you really let go and stop at trying to achieve something with your practice, then all the benefits you're seeking and wanting show up. But if you're trying to let go in order to secretly get those things, you miss the point. These things that we gain, like attention and all this great stuff and happiness and well-being, are like the foothills of the practice. They're not what it's about. And what it's about is so practice. Whatever you do, just practice. But when you practice, let go of gaining and achieving. Let go of becoming. Just sit. Thank you for your time today. And as always, and without exception, I'll see you tomorrow.